Hello guys, and welcome to episode number 4 of the Double Espresso powered by Pearl Coffee. Today I'm very excited to host a 4th episode of our show about the coffee, about the business, about how to improve the business, how to scale your business, and generally we're talking about trends in the coffee industry, as well as offering you help, support and advice and money saving tips. In this episode, I'm very excited because we have launched our new hot chocolate. It's in 1 kg bags. As you can see, it's a 32% cacao, organic product. And the reason we put it into a 1 kg packet, which is resealable, which is very good for consumers and for the trade industry, is because it does not break in the deliveries. So when we typically dispatch deliveries via DPD or any other courier service, if we put it like we used to, in a 2 kilo tubs, 90% of the orders were okay, but the 10% of the orders were suffering because due to damages. And no matter how good we used to wrap them up, they still used to suffer a bit of damages, which is a nuisance to me as an owner and to you as a customer of the product. So that's why we have launched 1 kg clever packaging solution. It's just as good. The coffee inside is just the same. The hot chocolate inside is just the same, but it doesn't break. And longevity-wise, it's better for us, and you can benefit from this too. As well as having mentioned, when you have a tub, you have to open and close it. With this one, it's just a purely resealable. So you use it once, you can reseal it. Use it a second time, you can reseal it, and it retains freshness just as well as a traditional tub. Now, we have also launched a new product number 2 just before the Christmas, and that is a filter coffee. Just bear with me a second while I disappear from your screens, because I have an exciting product to show you. Let me find the right place. Here we are. This is 50 by 50 special blend. 50 by 50 special blend, and it's a filter coffee. And again, before we used to do it in 1 kg packaging like this. So you used to be able to dose it yourself, have to measure how many grams of coffee you would put in your filter machine yourself. Nowadays, we eliminated that difficulty for you, and we're saving you time and money because it's just as cheap as the kilo packaging. You get in this box 50 by 50 filter sachets, which are good enough for 3 pints of coffee, and you also get 50 filter papers. So whenever you order a box of filter coffee, it's so convenient because you get 50 sachets and 50 filter papers, which is brilliant because you no longer have to think how many kilos of coffee I should buy, how many filter papers I need to buy. It's all there convenient for you. So you know you have 3 pints times 50, you got enough coffee for that venue or an event, and you have enough filter papers. It's that simple. It all comes in a box, the filter papers and filter coffee bags. Very easy and simple to use. Good packaging, always stays fresh. Anyway, guys, it's a brilliant product, and the best thing, even better thing than that, what I just said, is the fact that this box, 50 by 50, which is 2.5 kilos of a premium, freshly ground filter coffee, is just $29.99. That's right, this 2.5 kilo box, 50 by 50, 50 filter papers, 50 coffee, is just $29.99. So guys, this is a really, really good thing we have launched, and we hope that before Christmas you will take that opportunity. Now, who sells a lot of filter coffee? Sometimes coffee shops offer that as an option. A lot of the times the pubs have it when they have their function, and if they're sponsoring any wakes or weddings, they will have a filter coffee there, because typically it's a lot of people come at once and it's just not enough labor or manpower out there to make them individual espressos and lattes. So people go for a filter coffee, which is really simple because you have a filter coffee machine like we have here, filter coffee machine, and you can make 3 pints and serve the customers. We also sell these filter machines. They're only $150 plus VAT. So if you haven't got a filter machine and you think about selling filter coffee, i.e. because you are a gastropub, or maybe you're a hotel and you're doing morning breakfast, or you're a coffee shop that's looking actually to introduce something new, then you should go for this filter machine to offer something additional. Filter coffee is becoming increasingly more popular. I tell you why. Because it's a little bit something different to espresso or latte. And people's taste buds got too used to this full-bodied, strong coffee, which are offered in a way of espresso or a latte or cappuccino. And if you go for a filter blend, you're more likely to have this longing, steadfast taste of the coffee that is not bitter, but it's a bit more citrusy. There's a bit more flavor to it. It doesn't have any overpowering notes of a chocolate or hazelnut. It has more citrusy blend to it, and it's easier to drink. And I would say even those people who just started to drink coffee, the best way to start drinking coffee is to start from a filter coffee machine, because it's a lot easier to drink, and it's a lot easier to digest, and it's a lot easier on the taste buds because it doesn't have any strong overpowering notes. Anyway, that is it for filter coffee. If you want to buy our new hot chocolate or our new filter coffee, click link in bio, go on www.pearlcoffee.co.uk, and you can place your order today. So guys, don't delay, get prepared for Christmas. Make sure you stock up because Christmas will be busy. Now, until next time, I'll see you. Guys, in the last episode number 3, we had a brilliant guest here, which I'm very grateful for. Paul Selman, a really top salesperson who came and gave us an interview / podcast. And it was really good. He really gave us inside knowledge into what actually business is. And one of the key things, just to wrap it up, I wanted to mention to you that we have learned, and you should have learned about the business, is that business isn't just about buying and selling a product. It isn't about just doing a service. Business, if you want to be a business person and not just own a job, you need to understand sales, marketing. Because without sales, your business won't progress, your business will stagnate, and eventually it will go to a dying end. Without marketing, you will not receive enough pool of people, or what I call the leads, and then you need to execute the leads via your sales team. Now, if you haven't got those things in place, that's obviously your business may stagnate and may fail, or you will always carry on being one-man band or few-man bands, and your business will be the same. That's if things are okay in the economy. But as soon as something happens and you are just one person working in a coffee shop, you're frying up breakfast, you're cooking lunches, you're making sandwiches, you're serving people as a barista, and you happen to be an owner in that coffee shop or restaurant, then guess what? You might be a little bit in trouble because you don't have time. No matter how much you can say you have time, you don't have time to look in your invoices, to check your supply invoices. You don't have time to invest into marketing because even restaurants need marketing, even coffee shops need marketing. I've spoken to this about coffee shop the other week. They actually, funnily enough, watched the podcast about Paul Selman, and they said, Nick, we actually started marketing. We watched a podcast, we started marketing because of the advice I've given them. So they were based on the high street, but they didn't get enough customers. So what was happening is very simple. I'll show you up here what the trouble they were facing. So it's more illustratory for you, okay? Let me just find a board. So here we are. We have here price, and we have here quantity. Quantity is also number of orders, okay? So here's a coffee shop, you're charging from £10 a head up to maybe 30, maybe even more if you have a parties and a large amount of people coming in, or a restaurant, let's call it here, maximum is £100 per person. And here you have number of orders. So you can go from 10 orders a day to, let's say, 100 orders a day. Now, I'm sure you would agree that the perfect scenario would be to sell the most amount of orders, to have 100 people walk through the door that are willing to pay £100. Am I right or not? That would be the perfect point where you would want to be, and everyone would want to be there. But in this case, this gentleman, before he started doing marketing, he found out that he was actually selling maybe £8 worth of orders per head, and he only had about 20 orders. So he was about here. So he's thinking, how can I shift upwards so I increase the price that people are willing to spend per head and amount of people that are walking in on a daily basis into the coffee shop. And he done something very simple. Instead of just doing a traditional cards like all coffee shops are doing loyalty cards, you get 10 coffee free or 9 coffee free, he had something more clever. He said that you're gonna get a free mince pie if you spend £10 or more. So all of a sudden, it prompts 2 or more people to walk into that coffee shop and made it ahead and spend, £10 per head because they know they will get something for free. And when people are thinking they're going to get some extra value, spend £10 per head and they're going to get extra mince pie, they think, oh, all of a sudden it's a good deal. So what happened is he shifted to 10 or even £12 per person, and he got 60 people coming in on a daily basis. Now that's a lot better situation than he was in there. Now what he done also, he printed out 20% off if you spend over £20 in a coffee shop before 21st of December. And he distributed it to local customers who were coming to his coffee shop and to local residential area, the high-rise flats, the gyms and so on, whoever was in a 5-mile radius of his coffee shop. And I even mentioned to him, look, you might not have a manpower enough to go around 5-mile radius and get the leaflet or the little discount paper to every single person. You can actually now pay a professional company, they're called marketing flyers company, that actually can distribute for you 2,000 or 5,000 flyers for about something like 100 quid. So you will know then, and they have a tracker as well, so you will know that that flyer actually has went through the door, and that picker or delivery guy who was delivering that was actually in that area and delivered so many flyers. They didn't put them in the bin and they took 100 quid from you for nothing. So, it's a small cost to invest. You might need to invest maybe £100 for a person who will deliver those flyers, maybe £100 you need to invest into the flyers. So your total cost might be £200. But if you can shift from doing 20 orders a day to doing 60 or maybe 100 orders a day at a £12, that's going to be much better. Never mentioning, that's an extra sales. Never mentioning your existing customers. They may also be bringing you some sales. So you might be sitting somewhere about 200 orders actually a day at about £10. So what's going to be £2,000 of orders a day? For a small coffee shop, that's actually not too bad. Of course, there are other hints and tips that we will talk about later on to show you how to increase that number to about £3,000. It all will depend, of course, on your geographical location, on the number of years you've been in the business, and also it will depend on what are you actually offering, how many coffees you're offering. The more things you have on a menu, very important word, menu, the more options you have on a menu, the more chances you have that the different demographics of people will visit your cafe. Some might want a breakfast, some might want a latte, some want cappuccino, flat white, and when you don't have an extensive menu, then you're obviously lowering your chances of getting a certain amount of customers into their coffee shop.